Hey, it's Leo. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the ratings and reviews tag. This is a wonderful tag that was created by the fabulous Scott and Nell at Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. I enjoyed rewatching it as I was prepping for this one because it's been a little while, not that I'm behind or anything, and it was just as good or better on the rewatch, so I put that link in the description box below. Definitely recommend you check that out. I was tagged by two fabulous channels, and if I missed anyone else that tagged me, I apologize. So Jolene at Bookworm Adventure Girl and Jay at My Quarter Life Crisis both tagged me in this. Both gave really great responses to this, and thank you for tagging me. I'm glad to be doing this one. With each video on my channel, I lift up a different nonprofit that's doing good in the world. I do this to remind myself of all the people who are working to make the world a better place, even if sometimes it doesn't feel like things are going well. With this video, I would like to donate to the Red Nose campaign through Comic Relief. They are currently running a campaign supporting Ukrainian children and other displaced children around the world who are impacted by conflict areas. Let me tell you a little bit about them. Comic Relief and the Red Nose Day campaign have a long-standing history of delivering crucial funds to partner organizations working across the globe to help children affected by conflict and war. Their rapid response grants have provided critical humanitarian relief in emergencies ranging from hurricanes in the US to refugee crises in Syria, Ethiopia, Myanmar, and many other areas of conflict. Today, in addition to those efforts, they are taking action on the behalf of millions of children impacted by the devastating war in Ukraine. The Red Nose campaign is on a mission to end child poverty. The money they raise is issued as grants to trusted partners, and they support a range of programs to support the 4 Red Nose Day pillars, which are safety, health, education, and empowerment. They say all children have a right to a healthy future, and we can make this a reality. Together, let's build a healthy future for children. So I'll go ahead and make a donation. I encourage you to check them out. All right, let's get to the tag. So the first item of business is to tag folks, and so I have several folks here that I wanted to tag to do this, and of course anyone else who would like to do the tag, consider yourself tagged as well. So I will tag Nikki at Red Dot Reads, Deborah at Book It with Deborah, TC at Illiterately Yours, and I have to call out this channel. It doesn't have a ton of subscribers, which I think we can change, but she runs while reviewing her books, which is phenomenal. I don't think I could coherently do either of those things. So anyway, check out her channel. And then Mason in the Dark, I think that he gives really great and funny reviews, and I think he would have some really interesting answers to these questions, as well as Freddie at Sluggish Reader, who gave a really great recently tag response on the Skip to the Myloo tag. And then Grace at Books and Cooks had a really great in-depth analysis of her BookTube prize reviews. Definitely also tag and recommend Erica at Broken Spine. All right, so that's prompt 1, tagging folks. So prompt 2, how do you know if you finished a good book? Is it a thinking or a feeling response? And I definitely have like analytical pieces of myself that I bring to that thinking part, but I think my first response is definitely a feeling. Yeah. Question 3, when you begin to form your review or rating, what is the first question you ask yourself? You know, honestly, I think the first question I ask myself is, did it have a satisfying ending? Was there the payoff that I was promised? Did the character arc come to a good conclusion, even if there's a cliffhanger? Also, like, how well did I resonate with the book? Do I like living in the world with those characters? Did I learn something? Conversely, like, does the book represent values that are antithetical to how I want to live my life? That's more than the first question I ask myself, but there you have it. Okay, number 4, do you do star ratings? Why or why not? The answer is yes, but I'm not sure exactly why. I use them, I think, as a way to try to give insight into how good I think the book is or how strongly I recommend it, and yet recognizing that we all have vastly different reading experiences, and the same book can have 1 to 5 star range, and that doesn't mean that those reviews are not good reviews. This is why this tag is so interesting, I think. Okay, so explain your star rating system. What does a good book get in your rating system? I try to balance giving a good and honest review, but also recognize like that the author is a human being and I want to be kind as well. I also try not to be super harsh in my star ratings because I know that just not all books are meant for me. So if they're decent but maybe not meant for me, I'll try to still reflect that in my star rating. So what do my star ratings mean? Well, I said with a 5-star book, I love the book, I want to own it, I somehow want to capture the story or the characters or the quotes in it, like in my heart and on my bookshelf. As I listen to myself saying that, I think, now I sound like a creepy collector of fictional souls. Which may be true. Anyway, moving on. So a 4.5-star book in my rating system is I really like the book. I definitely still recommend it. I may just not be slipping it into people's shopping carts and pushing it on them as I would with a 5-star, but definitely still enjoy and recommend, and probably still capture the fictional souls for my prison of a bookcase. 4 stars. It's a good book. I think other folks will really enjoy it. I had a good reading experience, but I probably wouldn't reread it, I think is what my 4-star means. Don't hold me to any of this. I'm only 1 year into booktube and book reviewing after all. It would be interesting to see like what my answers to this question would be after another year of reviewing books, and to see like if my philosophy has changed. 3.5-star books. I've only so far rated 2 books 3.5 stars, I believe, and the book had merits, but it just wasn't for me. Because I think below that I've just DNF'd them, or I don't want to talk about them because they're just not books I wanted to give airtime. I do find it interesting that even though I've like ranted about a couple books or just didn't get on with them at all, I still gave them 3.5 stars, which I know in some other people's rating systems is a pretty decent rating. So again, it's really interesting how we all approach this differently. Okay, question 4.2. Is your star rating consistent? I.e., are all of your 5-star books better than all of your 4-star books? Yes, probably, maybe, don't hold me to it. But I think so. I think that's what I try to do, based on the numbering system that I just described. Okay, what language do you use to convey the quality of a book in your reviews? I think I try to identify the things that really resonate with me. So I talk about like character arc, the setting, the themes, whether or not the characters are likable or I'm rooting for them. That's one of the things I think I've noticed in my reviews a lot, is I'll indicate whether or not I'm rooting for a character, and obviously in my mind that's a good thing. Prompt 5. Do you believe every book has a perfect reader, and does this contradict the idea that a book can be bad? So I'll refer you to Jay at My Quarter Life Crisis for her answer to this one. That was pretty good. For me, a bad book can have a bad perfect reader. So a transphobe might really resonate with the book about bigotry. It's still a bad book, but a perfect fit for them. Number 6, what book have you hated that you recommended? I don't think that's happened yet. I'm sure there will be at some point a book that I know isn't a book for me, but that works for other people and I would maybe recommend it to them, but I can't think of one at the moment. Prompt 7, what makes a book good, bad, or great by your evaluation? What I first think of when I read this question is I think of the first question, which is like, is my response a thinking or a feeling response? And I think that a great book really tickles both my feeling and my thinking responses. So there's a lot of stuff to think over, mull over, reflect on, learn from. But there's also feelings like I appreciate or enjoy the emotional arc that I've been taken on, or the ride that I just went through with the book. For me as a person, I'm not gonna want to suffer through a big long slog of a story to have a dismal ending, but I know other people will enjoy that. That's why I'm never going to read A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. A book can be bad for a variety of reasons. Poor story structure, bad dialogue, a lot of craft elements I think can make a book bad or good or great. How is the author at conveying a setting? How are they at moving you along the story? What is the pacing like? All of those things. I think a bad book, it can be really clunky in transitions, or the characters are just cardboard cutout stereotypes, one-dimensional, etc. So a good book is not any of that, but then a great book maybe just elevates the craft and the experience. How's that? I think that'll work for an answer. I feel like this is a final exam. P.S. Best wishes to all of you who are facing final exams right now, because those are stressful, but you got this. Okay, back to my, where am I? Prompt 8. When evaluating the quality of a book, do you have specific criteria or aspects of the book, such as character development, that you consider, and does this change if you are writing an in-depth review versus just thinking about the book for enjoyment? I think to answer the second question first, yeah, I mean, I think if I'm looking for just a book for enjoyment, I may not be as discerning in a lot of the other areas. But generally, I think I treat my review the same regardless of, if it's a fluffy, fun book or a serious book. Big turnoffs for me are uncritiqued or unrecognized racism, fat phobia, ableism, transphobia, etc. Those items, and some of the other elements of bigotry or punching down can take a great story, throw me out of it, and just really sour the book for me. There are 3 books that I read last year that it still burns. It burns when I think about them, that they took these decent books that I'm never going to recommend them. Probably will never read that author again because how they treated marginalized communities. I don't even know if they were intending to, but the way they use descriptions of people to describe someone as a villain or suspicious. In one book, the way the hero used causing a disability as a way to threaten someone and then mock them for that. Really clumsy descriptions of a character and what are supposedly defects but are really just revealing of the discrimination in the author. For me, when I find a book that uses these techniques, it's just a nope, nope, nope on those. I guess, so that's my rating. 5-star, 4.5-star, 4-star, and nope. Let's see, what do we have here? I do love good character development. I really love good character development. Although I don't always like it when we start off with the character in the rough spots, but I like the payoff at the end. I'm also learning that I don't like unreliable narrators or unlikable protagonists or those who are questionably evil. So, for example, great writing, but I did not like the Sea, Sorry Bob the Booker, because of the protagonist who was just an awful villain. And for me, that just made it a book that I couldn't enjoy. Side note, I do blame Bob the Booker for the resurgence of popularity of The Sea. This is why he's my nemesis. But another example of a book that many, many people love, that great writing, but that just didn't work for me, was She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan, because of the protagonist. I just didn't enjoy. It gets back to that when I said that I like to root for characters. I didn't want to root for that protagonist anymore by the end of the book. And so I didn't enjoy it. Obviously, many people love these books, and obviously with A Little Life, there are people who write rave reviews and buy the t-shirts and so forth, and I support that. Just not for me. Prompt 9. Do you consider star ratings or average ratings when choosing books to read or add to your TBR? Yes. I also look at BookTube recommendations. I also really enjoy Storygraph and the extra categories that they give in terms of, is there diversity? Are there likable characters? Is character growth featured? Is it lighthearted? Is it emotional or challenging, etc.? I just find all of that in Storygraph really helpful. Number 10, who on BookTube does reliable and interesting reviews of books that you can use to decide if a book is for you or not, and what makes their reviews so good? Okay, so for this one, I just went and looked at my watch later list, and I have 557 videos on my watch later list. So I love a lot of you, and I try to keep up, but obviously I can't. I can't name also all of the people that I'm subscribed to on this answer, because that would be a really long and probably not very interesting segment on the video. So I'll just lift up a few. Have to name the originators of this tag, Scott and Nell at Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. I also want to name Olivia Savannah at Olivia's Catastrophe. I guess I'll name Bob the Bookerer. Of course, I'll name Bob the Bookerer. Brie at Locked Booktician is really insightful in her analysis, as well as Cousin at Always Doing, and Camilla at Hasty Books. So probably all of you are subscribed to all of them already, and if not, you should be. Not that there should be shoulds, but I definitely highly recommend. 5-star. They are all 5-star BookTube channels. I love the way they review their books, the things that they lift up and highlight, things that either I'm looking for or that I wouldn't have thought of. I love the way they describe language or payoff or themes and characters, etc. So I really just need time to catch up on all my 557 watch later videos. There's no catching up because you all just keep also producing really great content, which is really terrific. So keep at it. I'll never be able to stay current, but I love it anyway. All right, number 10. Nope, number 11. Do those booktubers use different language than you to evaluate and review the overall quality of a book? Maybe, yes and no. I might be running out of steam for a deep analysis of that, but I think it's a great question. I'll stick with yes and no. Well, this was a really fun tag to do. I hope that you enjoyed watching and definitely encourage you to check out all of the people that I've mentioned and we'll link down below, and check out Scott and Nell's original tag as well as Jolene and Jay's version of it. And if you want to do this, I tag you. Thanks again for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and ring the bell. I guess I've never said to do that, but ring that bell if you'd like to know when I post new content. Please leave a comment down below. I'd love to continue the conversation. And take care. I'm wishing you love and hope and courage and joy. Bye. Try to do a butch bye. Bye. See ya. Hasta la vista. All right, catch you next time.